Hi guys, it's Dakota. Happy Monday. I hope everyone had a great week, great weekend. If you celebrated Samhain, I hope it was absolutely a great time. If you went trick-or-treating and celebrate Halloween, I hope you had a great time as well. Such a fun time of year, and here we are already in November. I'm kind of mourning October. We dropped in a day from, it was in the 80s, and now we're like in the 40s within, a day. I don't like it. I'm a summer girl all the way. So I'm really super excited for today's video. I think I'm going to do this in two parts probably, because there's a lot I want to share with you on this. So if you watched my video last week, I was not going to do Samhain. I was actually going to do a video on what I'm doing it on today. And that is a review or a reveal, I'm sorry, both reveal and review on the Transparent Tarot by Emily Carding. And so I promised you that I would not open it without you. I lied. I did open it without you, but I only looked at two cards. I swear to you, I only looked at two cards. I felt bad, and I put them back in, and I just took the book and kind of flipped through the pages, and then I put it back in the box. It's been 2.5 weeks. It was killing me. I wanted to see them really bad, but I have waited to do the actual reveal for you. All right, so here we go. The deck is $60. It's a $60 deck, and that's a little pricey. It's a deck that I discovered a while ago, and it just would not leave me alone. It was just calling me, and I finally broke down and I bought it. So it's a very, very different deck. It is unlike any tarot deck I've ever seen in my life. So I hope that I'm going to be able to read it. All right, so I did order it from Amazon, and it came in its little Amazon bubble envelope, and it was a big package. Well, that was interesting. I was like, oh, okay, wow, that's kind of big. And it felt big. So when I pull it out of the bag, or out of the little envelope, this is what it is. It is in this plastic covered box. For me, it is not aesthetically pleasing. That was the first thing that I noticed, was the book, which is right here. It's really, it looks kind of geometrical and stuff because you see all the lines, and that's because the cards are transparent. But nevertheless, I just really dislike it. I dislike this whole packaging. Is extremely uninviting to me. It's unappealing to me. The cards, because they're transparent, you can see through them, and so it's just a, they don't look like anything, you know? And then you have this white cloth, which is actually the reading cloth, and you do need to have white or a very light colored cloth to read these cards with, which I will show you. All right, so the deck's about that thin. There you go. Here's the back. Tells you a little bit, shows you a couple of spreads. All right, so the first thing that throws me off, this cheap plastic, these covers, look, this already has, it came that way with this dent in it. These things crack and break and split so easily. I mean, for $60, really? I am not pleased with that at all. The good thing for me is I keep all my tarot cards. They each have their own little pouch. But I know some people, they prefer to keep the boxes that their tarot cards come in, because the tarot cards usually, if you get the bigger box, cards come with a nice size book, or they come with a little pamphlet, but they like to keep them in with the booklet in with their cards. So there's no way that I'm walking around with this big bad boy. You know, I mean, it's horrid. It's just cheap. So here is the book, and I will say that the covers, the cardboard is soft cover, soft bound. They're pretty thick. It's a nice sturdy book. The pages, they're not real thick, but they're nice. They feel pretty good. It's got the foreword. It has 280 pages, so obviously there's quite a bit of information in here. It has all really cool different things and different things that you can, different spreads that you can use, and it tells you how to use the cards, which is really important, and I hope that it goes into some detail with that, with how to use these cards, because they are transparent, and it is they read very, very, very different, very different than a regular tarot card. There is I'm sorry, I'm trying to find like the very first card. Where is the Fool? She bases the cards on Rider-Waite somewhat, but of course, just like anybody, you know, she has her own interpretation and has used that, and in a really profound way. It's really interesting how she came up with these cards, these transparent cards. You'll see when I show you. But there's like a page, about a page and a half. You have the page that tells you about the card, and then there's another little section that gives you the divinatory meaning of the card. And so I give the book, despite the aesthetics of the cover, because that would not be a selling point for me. I'm just letting you know, it would not. I am not drawn to this cover. Had I not known what these cards were beforehand, there is no way that I would have paid $60 for this white book with these. It doesn't even really, you can't even tell what the cards are. This white cloth, I mean, it just takes away from everything. And then the cards, because they're transparent, you can't even see the cards. And to have that flimsy cover, no, I would not have paid $60 had I not known, like I said, had I not known about the cards. Okay, so like I said, it comes with this white reading cloth, which looks like and feels like a sheet pillowcase, like a pillowcase. This is like a pillowcase. I'm seriously, it's like a pillowcase. You could have at least used maybe a satin cloth, a white satin cloth, or a thicker white canvas type cloth. This literally feels like and is thin like a pillowcase. For $60, you get this. I will, if I decide that I'm going to keep this deck, I haven't decided yet. We're going to get to the cards. Then I will be returning the deck if I don't like the cards. based on the packaging, which is horrid, and cheap. It's just cheap, very cheap, $60, and it's just, they couldn't have used a worse material. I mean, that plastic cover is, that'll break in no time. That'll break in no time. And I don't know anybody who's going to carry around this big box with them if you don't keep your cards in a pouch. And there's no law that says you have to. So some people like to, and some people, like I said, they want to keep their cards with their book, especially those that are just learning, because books get lost, and so they keep everything together. All right. So here are the cards. And what I'm going to tell you about the cards is they're about the size of a decent, I have big hands, so that's a good size deck for me. They're not oversized. It's about the size of my deck. It feels a little bit wider, maybe a little bit wider this way than my deck, but just slightly. This is about the same. So that part's not bad. I'm going to show you this because I sort of already knew about this. The cards actually are coated with a grease substance, something that's kind of greasy, and I can only assume that is to keep the cards from getting scratched in the box, because, like I said, this box is cheesy. I'm sorry. I think this box is crap. And apologies for using that word, but for $60, this is not bad. This is a nice sturdy box, but you know, you're not going to keep your cards stored in there with that cheap plastic top. That top is going to break, I'm sure, after a couple uses, taking it on and off, it's going to break. So, and then you're going to be forced to, you know, to get a pouch. And if that isn't how you like to carry your cards, well, too bad. You know, you're not going to have. This is terrible. This is just terrible. Well, I'm really disappointed with that. But anyway, so the cards stick together, and it's like they're. I mean, literally, I'm not holding them. I mean, literally, they're. I don't know if you can hear that. Let's see. You hear that little? They're stuck together with this little greasy stuff, which, like I said, I personally don't mind because I don't want my cards to be all scratchy, which in that box, well, they don't move around because they're stuck. They're stuck together. But if they didn't stick together, trust me, in that box, they'd be sliding all over the place, and you'd end up with scratchy cards. So I did know that, so each of these cards, and I did know this, I knew that they came with this little greasy film stuff, and so the cards have to actually, each individual card has to be washed. And so I'm going to contact my friend that actually lives overseas, which is where I heard about, she lives across the pond, which is where I actually heard about these cards. I think I said Transparent Tarot by Emily Carding, and she is from the UK. So anyway, I'm going to contact my friend and see what she used to wash her cards. And she did tell me they had to be washed. So big deal. You know, it's spending time with your cards. I like that. All right. It's getting to know them and them getting to know you. And just giving them a little cleansing bath. And I like to cleanse my cards anyway with sage or, you know, something like that, crystal or something. So this time they're going to get an actual bath. All right. So here is the card. This is the Fool. This is the Fool card. I'm trying to, let me put it up there next to the rabbit skin. So you can see that they are transparent. And if you can see this little white dot and stuff, it actually, just from sitting out, and you know, it's gotten lint on it probably from the pillowcase. It's got lint on it, which stuck to the little greasy stuff, and the card is is really, I wish I could get it in the right light so you could see the film on it. I mean, it's just full of this grimy grease. But anyway, the art is so sweet. This is the full card, and this is the reason why you have to have a white or a light colored cloth, reading cloth, because if I were to hold this up against, you know, something that had a pattern or something that was dark, you can't see what's going on in the card. So you actually have to have the white background or a light colored background to see the card. So this is the full card. And then I'll pull another card if I can. It's stuck together. So they're really cool. And how they work, I said I'm going to do a part 2 video because I actually want to do a little spread and show you some cool ideas that you can do with the deck. But how, so there's different ways that you could, like you can do a regular spread if you want, like a Celtic Cross or a 3-card spread or whatever spread you use. They're just, I mean, they're tarot cards, so you can read them however you want to read them. But the intention for the card was that they lay on top of each other. You actually layer the cards. And when you layer them, the sheet needs to be ironed. It takes on different meanings when you layer them. So then that's how you would read it. You would read, you know, your first card, you would layer it with your second card, and then, you know, if you were doing, say you were doing a 3-card spread, oh, this is brilliant. I love this card. So, and it doesn't, I mean, truly, because they're transparent, how you lay it. Now you have, see the hills in the background, and then you have the book with the moon and the butterflies, transformation. So then you can read the card that way. So you would be able, if you were to do a 3-card spread, you would read card 1, layer it, or maybe read card 2, read 3, then layer them. They're really, really magnificent cards. An idea that she did with the cards. What I don't like about these cards, as I'm just now finding out, they're very flimsy. They're very flimsy. I don't like that. If this were a regular tarot deck with a cardboard stock material, most likely, based on the way that they were packaged, I would probably, I don't know, I feel like I would send these back because they're very flimsy. So I'm going to wash the cards, and you know, you have to, I'm thinking you have to be really careful because I don't know if that's silk screened on or within the plastic. So I'm going to have to be extremely gentle with the cards. I do not shuffle my cards, even my regular cards like this. I don't shuffle them that way. I shuffle my cards this way. So that might help. I'm hoping that once I get the greasy material off of them, that they don't scratch. So I think I'm going to do a little more research on them, see if I can maybe contact my tarot group or contact my friend. Actually, I'm going to contact her. She's an acquaintance that I know through a tarot group, and we sort of became friends. So I think I'm going to contact her and see. I know she told me that you had to wash them, didn't have a problem with that, but see now that she uses hers, now that she's used hers, how she shuffles them and if they're scratchy, because you know, I'm not going to pay $60 for a deck of cards that gets all scratchy. Or if you take, I'm wondering, is this the same? I mean, it is, I don't know, is it the same material as this? Because I know for a fact that this material cracks and breaks. For $60, if these crack and break, I'm going to be one unhappy tarot reader, I can tell you that. Alright, so this is going to be the end of part 1. I'm going to do part 2. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a little research first and then see where I go from here. See if I can contact her before I even wash the cards, because I want to make sure that if I don't like them, that I can, if she tells me that they break or split or scratch, I may not even wash them, and I might just send them back, which kind of breaks my heart because I really, really want to use them. So I don't know where I'm at. But anyway, this is going to be the end of part 1. So it is, look for part 2. I'm not sure if I'll get to it today or next week. Probably next week, because I've got to do some research and such on the cards. And so I'll do part 2 next week. Transparent Tarot, and I will see you next Monday. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great week. Bye.